Do you want to ask the question here?
Yeah. Okay. So last time we talked about Hira and Hijaz. Who remembers what Hira is and what Hijaz was or is?
Hira.
Who remembers?
The location of Hira in
Yemen.
in Sham, in Iraq. Iraq.
Hijaz معروف.
Hijaz. Algeria.
Okay. So who were the Ahbash and who was their military leader?
حبشة.
In Yemen. You mean in Yemen?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in Yemen. He was the one who attended to Abraham.
وزير مش عشان وزير الأبسيني.
He was in Yemen. He was, yeah,
Was the
he
king.
took over.
He was the king of Abyssinia, which is now Ethiopia.
No, they were a king. They were a king in Habasha,
So
and
they
he
were
was
both.
trying to please his leader in Habasha, and he's from Habasha as well. And Habasha has invaded Yemen twice, and one of the leaders were there, Abraham. So, and he was trying to please his leader in Yemen, in Ethiopia, in Habasha.
And then question number 3, which is obvious now. What army invaded Mecca to destroy the Kaaba?
And you know the church names that he built to bring the people to it in Yemen? Why he did this? Because he found that most of the people going to Kaaba, because of Ibrahim tradition, we know that the Ibrahim tradition was also practiced. So, and he wanted to take this direction and took people to the church instead of to the Kaaba. And he built a huge church. And it's called, what's called the church there? Khulais. And he says Khulais.
خلايس.
And it still exists.
I'm not quite sure, but he built it and it was huge, and he took further step to please. Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to question number 4. What atrocity did the Jews do that Allah mentioned in the Quran and made the Roman leader attack them? Does anyone remember? Sheikh, you want to give a hint about number 4?
Roman leader attacked.
What atrocity did the Jews do?
Yeah, what the atrocity?
At what time? During
In which area? In Najran.
Yeah, so this is what we talked about last time.
Yeah.
Right? So we're just going over what we
So
talked
in
about.
Najran, they were Christian there. They were Jewish, and they moved and they became a Christian, and the Jews got so upset, and they want to bring them back to Judaism, and they did not accept. So they did the big massacre there. What was the massacre that was narrated in the Quran?
Hudud.
Hudud. In Najran. In Hudud.
Okay, and the last question. Last question. Who was Abdul Muttalib? Okay, that was an easy one.
Abdul Muttalib was the grandfather of the Prophet.
Okay, so today we're going to go over the lineage of the Prophet ﷺ, his family, the birth, 4 years prior to the prophethood, his babyhood, the events of the chest opening, his mother and her death, living with his grandfather and the house of Abdul Muttalib. Inshallah.
So the nasab, first of all, we need to, as we have said in the meeting before, the situation in that time was chaos, many corruption in the area, in Roman Empire, in Persian Empire, Greece, India. So the situation was very bad before the Prophet ﷺ, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose him to be on that time. So the time is collapsing, the empire was in very bad shape, and we talked about it. While the Arabs, they do have some connection with the Abrahamic tradition, and we knew that the Arabs, they have many good manner and attitude, even though that the empires around them were in big mass. But the Arabs themselves in that time, they used to have some good akhlaq and good attitude, like hospitality, be honest, helping the needy, and taking care about those who are less fortunate, and also and have this also the nasab, which is, we're going to talk about the nasab of the Prophet ﷺ. Nasab means in the English language, it's the one who study nasab is called genealogist. So the one who study ilm al-nasab. And even the mustashriqeen, those who study the Arabs in that time, they said the most complicated issue that the Arabs, they were really advanced in ilm al-nasab and ilm al-hasab and ilm al-sanad. That's they go really deep into your family, and they have lineage that it's a chain. This chain, it is very accurate. So they used to have that among them. So if, for example, Brother Muhammad, they know for a fact who is his father, and they know in fact who is the grandfather, and they know the grandfather, because they have that purity in their mind, called صفاء الأذهان قرائح الأذهان صافية عندهم صفاء ذهني. So they used to memorize 200 lines of poem. It's easy. Qais or others, they have sharp memory, and they really knows the kinship of anyone that belongs to them. So even the ulama who studied this area from non-Muslims, they said this is really accurate science, really accurate science. So whomever they said, if they talk about Bani Hashim, they knew who's Bani Hashim. They knew from where they came. And if they talk about Abd Manaf, they know Abd Manaf, who are they. So, and it's accurate. And it's not only one or two. Many people know who's Bani Hashim, who's Abd Manaf, who's Bani Uzza. They knew. So therefore, the nasab of the Prophet ﷺ was so pure. And they couldn't do anything to him because of his nasab. They know who is he. And we will know that the Prophet ﷺ, he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought him from Quraysh. And he knew who was Quraysh. He knew the lineage of Quraysh that belonged to Adnan. And Adnan belonged to Ismail. Ismail to Ibrahim. They knew that. And even in accurate mind. So the Prophet ﷺ, according to Ibn Hisham, he is Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Abdul Muttalib. Abdul Muttalib, his name Shayba. His name, look at this. They know Abdul Muttalib and they know he's accurate in Shayba. It's very accurate. Ibn Hashim, واسمه عاشم. هاشم عمرو ibn Abd Manaf, واسمه عبد مناف المغيرة. And his name is Al-Mughira. Abdul Manaf, his name Mughira. But they call him two names. One Abd Manaf, and his accurate name Abdul Mughira. ابن قصي واسمه قصي زيد ابن كلاب ابن مرة ابن كعب ابن لؤي ابن غالب ابن فهر ابن مالك ابن النضر ابن كنانة ابن خزيمة ابن مدركة واسمه مدركة عامر ابن إلياس ابن النضر ابن مطر ابن نزار ابن معد ابن عدنان. Ibn Hisham, in his book Seerah, he continued. He continued after Adnan, and he continued to Ismail, and he continued from Ismail to Ibrahim, and he continued from Ibrahim to Adam, alayhi salam. But we're not gonna talk about all this nasab. We're gonna talk about this now. The Prophet ﷺ said when the Nassabun was talk about Adnan, he said كذب النسابون. So the first thing that we need to understand, Ibn Hisham is supposed to stop in Adnan, because after Adnan, Prophet ﷺ said كذب النسابون. It's too much. People, they do not have an accurate nasab after that. Yes, it is in fact Adnan belonged to Ismail. This is accurate. And it is Ismail belonged to Ibrahim. But the lineage between Adnan and Ismail and Ibrahim, it's Ismail Ibrahim, it's known. But the lineage from Adnan to Ismail, it is not known. And from Ibrahim to Adam alayhi salam, it's also not known. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said, كذب النسابون after Adnan. After Adnan, كذب النسابون. So, but the historian, especially Ibn Hisham, when they talk about nasab after Adnan, they don't mean to talk about the accurate nasab, but they talk about if they did not catch the father, they might catch the grandfather. So, and maybe some people were missed after Adnan. Before Adnan, nothing is missing. Before Adnan, nothing is missing. After Adnan, you might miss a grandfather or a father of someone. You might miss it. But before Adnan, it is accurate. The second issue, we believe accurately, and this is fact and 100% correct, that he is from Zuriyat Ismail. From Jurhum, that as we know that Ismail married from Jurhum, and from Jurhum Adnan comes. So we have in fact real accuracy that he is belong to Ismail alayhi salam, and we know who's Ismail, the son of Ibrahim alayhi salam. The Prophet ﷺ said, إن الله اصطفى كنانة. Look at this. He said, إن الله اصطفى كنانة من ولد إسماعيل. إن الله اصطفى كنانة. كنانة, the tribes. Allah اصطفى كنانة from ولد إسماعيل, from the son of Ismail. And واصطفى قريشا من كنانة. Quraysh, tribe Quraysh, came from Kinana. واصطفى من قريش بني هاشم. And from Quraysh, this best family, the chosen family in Quraysh, the most top one in Quraysh, is Bani Hashim. Bani Hashim. And واصطفاني من بني هاشم. واصطفاني من بني هاشم. So Kinana, Quraysh, the top of the Quraysh is Bani Hashim, and he came from Bani Hashim. And they are from Walad Ismail. Prophet ﷺ said that. So it is 100% accurate that he is directly from the chain of Ismail alayhi salam, and Ismail is the son of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And the Prophet ﷺ, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose him in the hadith, he said, from Ashraf al-Ahsan wal-Ansab. Ashraf, the most noble chain of families. Most noble chain of families. As he said in the hadith, خرجت من نكاح ولم أخرج من سفاح من لدن آدم عليه السلام لم يصبني من سفاح الجاهلية شيء. لم يصبني من سفاح الجاهلية شيء. I came from a marriage that's correct relationship, accurate relationship, halal relationship. I have not come from zina, from sifah. From Adam alayhi salam, that this chain was a noble chain of religious family after religious family after religious family, that even till Ibrahim alayhi salam. لم يصبني من سفاح الجاهلية شيء. I did not come from a legal relationship between men and women at all. Through my chain of families, Now, Abdul Muttalib, his grandfather, now because when he was asked, أنا النبي لا كذب أنا ابن عبد المطلب, he did not say أنا ابن عبد الله because he did not see his father. Even though when he used to be asked who you are, he said أنا النبي لا كذب أنا ابن عبد المطلب. And some of the people, they said, okay, he called him, his grandfather Abdul Muttalib, then it is okay to be called Abdul Muttalib. So some people call their kids Al Muttalib, and they will call Abdul Muttalib. This is wrong, because that was before Islam. After Islam, التعبيد لغير الله لا يجوز. عبد مناف, عبد العزة, هذا لا يجوز. Even though, as a name, عبد الشمس, even though that, or عبد المسيح, عبد النبي, عبد الرسول. So, التعبيد لغير الله, even though he said أنا النبي لا كذب أنا ابن عبد المطلب, he's saying it as to deliver the news, that it doesn't mean he's delivering news, he's not making it loud. It doesn't mean he said I'm the prophet with no lies and I belong to Abdul Muttalib. It doesn't mean he approves the name of Abdul Muttalib, but he's telling us he is belong to that name, Abdul Muttalib. But in Islam, we cannot call our kids or our son Abdul Muttalib. And we cannot call them Abdul Uzza or Abdul Manaf. Or we cannot call them Abdul Rasul. Because ta'beed, it has to be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Say Abdullah, Abdul Rahman, Abdul Kareem, Abdul Sami', Abdul Alim, Abdul Qadir, Abdul Qadir. But to say Abdul Rasul, Abdul Masih, this is wrong. Even Christian, they say Abdul Masih. And Shia now, they say Abdul Hussein or Abdul Hassan. And this is wrong. Abdul Shams, Abdul Qamar. Cannot. So when you say use Abd, then it has to be, it's belong to the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's only to make it sure that people will not fall into this trap, because some of the fuqaha called their kids Abdul Muttalib, and that was wrong. And the Prophet ﷺ changed the names of many Sahaba. They used to be called Abd something, and he changed them. For example, Tarjamat Abdullah bin Hakim bin Hakim al-Dabbi, وعبدالله بن منقر القيسي, عبد الحارث بن أنس الحارثي, عبد الحارث, وعبد الرحمن بن أنس الحارثي, وعبد الرحمن بن عبد الله البلوي, وعبد الله بن الحارث بن زيد الضبي, وغيرها من التراجم, that many other names. The Prophet ﷺ did not approve their names to be abd for anything else other than Allah. That you can see in their names, the biography, their name was changed. Because the Prophet ﷺ told them to change their names from more ta'beed to be abd to Allah, Abdul Rahman or Abdullah. So we're going to come to talk about the birth of the Prophet ﷺ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about the Prophet ﷺ, يَا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولُنَا قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولُنَا. O people of the book, that we have sent you our messenger. قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولُنَا يُبَيِّنْ لَكُمْ, to clear many issues to you, to clear many issues to you. كَثِيرًا, that to clear many issues. مِمَّا كُنْتُمْ تُخْفُونَ, that many issues that you used to hide. مِنَ الْكِتَابِ, from your book. وَيَعْفُ عَنْ كَثِيرٍ, and we'll let it go about many other information. But he's there to clear, for clarity. قَدْ جَاءَكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ نُورٌ وَكِتَابٌ مُبِينٌ. Allah sent to you light and clear message, clear book. Kitab Mubin, clear book. That you know about it. Ahlul Kitab, they knew about it. يَهْدِي بِهِ اللَّهُ مَنِ اتَّبَعَ رِضْوَانَهُ سُبُلَ السَّلَامِ. So Allah will guide those who follow this book and to follow the right way of salam. وَيُخْرِجُهُم مِّنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ, and He takes them out from the darkness to the light. And الظُّلُمَات, always ظُلُمَات in a plural. Nur, it's only masculine. So that we always read, when we read الظُّلُمَات, because ظُلُمَات is too many. Nur is only one. It cannot be changed. ظُلُمَات is too many darkness, it's ظُلُمَات in the plural. But when Allah talk about Nur, only one Nur. Because this is Jahiliyyah and this is Iman. This is the Kufr and this is Iman. From Kufr to Iman. So Kufr has Zulumat. Iman has one light. Because it has only one source. The source is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah nuru samawati wal ard. Bi-iznihi. That Allah will take people from darkness to the light by His permission. وَيَهْدِيهِمْ إِلَى صِرَاطِ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. And He guide them to the right path. Sirat al-Aziz al-Hamid. that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide them to the right path. So this is a clear message to the people of the book, that to believe in the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because they know who is, they know his lineage, they know his nasab, they know his family, they know he will come from where. They know that he will come from Faran, from the mountains of Faran. They knew. And they know them. They know him as they knew their children. The year of his birth, that the ulama they agreed upon. So there is no differences among the scholars about the year of his birth. So the year of his birth, as we have said, what was the year? Am al-Fil. So they agreed Am al-Fil. Am al-Fil, it was about 531.
So Sheikh, what does
531.
Sheikh, what does Am al-Fil mean?
Am al-Fil is the same year that the elephant came. He born. Some of the ulama, they said he was born after days from the incident of al-Fil, and some of them they said no, it's after 1 month, and some of them they said it is after 2 months. But even though they all agreed he was born in that year.
So year of the elephant.
The year of the elephant. So this is clear that they are agreed upon that he was born in the year of the elephant. That is it after a few days, it is after 1 month or after 2 months. This is the ulama, they differ with each other. The Prophet ﷺ, the Ibn Abbas said, Ibn Abbas said, ولد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عام الفيل. It's clear from Ibn Abbas. Clear. ولد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في عام الفيل. Now, we're going to talk about his lineage from the side of his mother, Amina. Amina bint Wahab, ibn Abd Manaf, ibn Zuhra, ibn Kilab, ibn Murrah. So his nasab from his father way is right, so clear, and so pure, so noble. And not only from his father, as we have mentioned, also his lineage from his mother's side, it is top. It's noble. Over Amina bint Wahab. That Amina bint Wahab, also the people in Quraysh, from Quraysh, the people who belong to Quraysh, they respect her family a lot. So he came from both families, from the side of his father and the side of Amina bint Wahab. And both of them, Abdullah and Amina, both of them, their lineage goes back to Ibrahim alayhi salam. As we have mentioned the hadith before. What was the reason behind it? So there were a couple of reasons why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose the Prophet ﷺ to be from that family. Why Allah chose him. واصطفاني من بني هاشم واصطفاني من قريش. That I am from Quraysh. And Quraysh from Kinana. And so why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose him from that family? First of all, to bring him from that family, that will make issues easy on him to spread his da'wah, because no one will be able to kill him. And no one will be able to finish his da'wah, because his family will protect him, no matter what. If they kill someone from Quraysh, this is big issue. It will lead to big fight. So they knew that he came and he was supported. Even though that his family against him in his da'wah. For example, Abu Lahab, he was against him. Abu Talib, he's against him. Hamza, he was against him. So they were against him, but because he belonged to Ashraf, that this will bring protection. Family protection. So they will say, they might say he's a liar. They might say he came to destroy our beliefs in the idols. They might say that, but they cannot kill him. And when they tried to kill him, Abu Talib many times was against him. Said, you leave him, do whatever he wants, but you don't kill him. So if you want to go and oppose his da'wah, it's fine. But if he's a blood, he belongs to Ashraf. So So his family was a reason, subhanAllah, Allah chose him from that family as a reason for protection. As a reason for protection. Because there used to be so-called there in their time, عصبية قبلية. العصبية القبلية, it was so spread. عصبية قبلية mean عصبية from عصبة. That قبيلة will be, tribes will be with their own family members as with strong tie. They will not.
Tribal fanaticism.
Tribal fanaticism. Yeah, you can say. It's too much. It's too much. They will not allow anyone from the other qabila to come and attack one from this qabila. You can. But this qabila, they can do it. Same qabila, they can do it. But someone come from other qabila and do it, no, it cannot. So this have the asabiyya qabila, the asabiyya of family. It was there, and it was highly spread among tribes. And we can see that Abu Talib was taking care about him, and even though he did not believe in his da'wah, but he would not allow anyone to touch him or to harm the Prophet ﷺ. So being from that family, it has a reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose. And also to come from a noble family, this is also like an answer for those who might complain. And he said, oh, this person came from not noble family, and he's not known only to do some reform because he's from a poor family and he wants to do some reform. They cannot say that. He came from a strong family and from noble family, and they cannot complain that he came for a reason in himself, that he want to do some reform, he want to do some correction in the society. So they cannot do that because he is from a strong family.
So Sheikh, so would you say that his situation wasn't that he was very rich and wasn't poor, he was just, his situation was in that family that, he wasn't poor and he wasn't very rich.
Middle class.
What's that?
Middle class.
Yeah, middle class.
Yeah, middle class.
He was middle class.
Yeah,
so
but usually those who come with correction and who want to stop corruption, usually they come from not known family.
Yeah.
They want to say, why is this family taking over?
Yeah.
Why is this power to only these three tribes or to that tribes? So they might come do it only for the sake of to better themselves and to change the situation.
So he didn't need to do that.
So he didn't do
Okay.
that. He's already from noble family.
Okay.
So no one can complain. He's doing his da'wah for any other reason. And the people of the book, when Hiraqal asked Abu Sufyan, he told him, سألتك عن نسبه. I asked you about his kinship. I asked you about his lineage. I asked you about them to Abu Sufyan. And you told me, إنه فيكم ذو نسب. And you told me, Abu Sufyan, he is from ذو نسب. He belongs to a noble family. فكذلك الرسل تبعث في نسب قومها. And this is how messengers used to be sent. That they used to be sent from a noble family inside the tribe, inside their tribe. So Hiraqal, he knew that this prophet will come from good family, well known and well respected. And when he was born, his father passed away. So the Prophet ﷺ, subhanAllah, and now we're going to talk about the hikmah, the reason why his father passed away, and then his mother passed away. Is there a reason? Yeah, there is a reason. The reasons the ulama said, two reasons. First, تربية التوكل على الله وأن الله هو الذي يؤدبه. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not his mother, not his father, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take special monitoring, will take a special way of educating his prophet. So he's gonna move him from place to place. Therefore, no any influence from any person, nor his mother, nor his father, because he was an orphan. His mother passed away when he was young, and his father passed away. Then the direct care came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So build among the Prophet ﷺ the meaning of tawakkul, to rely on Allah, not on another one, to rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he had that in mind, because no father to see this kindness, to see this, so this hanan of the mother, this kindness of the mother. He didn't see it, but he saw the hanan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He saw that Allah is taking care of him. Prophet said, "Addabani Rabbi wa ahsana ta'dibi." That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teach me the adab, and the best adab is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also the second reason, that no, those people who have doubt, they're not gonna say, oh, he was influenced by his dad. His dad brought him this, and his dad, he wants leadership, and he wants to be like a leader of Quraysh. So his dad influencing him to bring back this power. So his dad is not there, and his mother is not there. So he's doing the da'wah is only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As you know, Quraysh used to have a rifada and a siqaya. A rifada and a siqaya. They used to be responsible for the watering, give water, drinks to the people who are doing the Kaaba, and they used to also be responsible to welcome them and to receive them. So their status to do that in Hajj is highly respected. Quraysh is highly respected. When Herakl, when Abraha came and talked to Abdul Muttalib, and he said, "I'm going to demolish the Kaaba," he said, "But I need my sheep." He said, "You count yourself as a leader of Quraysh, Abdul Muttalib. You count yourself as a leader of Quraysh, and you're coming to ask me about the sheep, and you don't ask me about the Kaaba, and you're the one who's taking care about the Kaaba?" He said, "The Kaaba will be taken care of Allah, and I'm going to take care about my sheep." So that even Abraham knows the status of Abdul Muttalib and his family toward the Kaaba, and they were highly respected around the Kaaba as well. Now, the scholar agreed that the Prophet ﷺ were born. We're okay?
Yeah, 15 more minutes.
15?
15 more minutes.
15? Okay. So the ulama also, they are agreed that the Prophet ﷺ, after they agreed on Am al-Fil, they agreed that he was born on Monday. Because this is a hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said, ذاك, about Monday, ذاك يوم ولدت فيه, this Monday, that the birth, my birth, يوم ولدت, ويوم بعثت أو أنزل علي فيه, وأنزل علي فيه. So the Prophet ﷺ was born on Monday, and he was giving the message on Monday, and he was told, and the revelation came to him on Monday. So three things. He was born on that day. He gave the message. He was told to be a prophet on that day, and the first revelations happened on that day as well. It's Monday. So, but now the month. So we knew Monday, we knew the year, and we knew the date, Monday. Now the month. The month, most of the scholars, they're saying Rabi'ul Awwal. Most of the scholars, they're saying Rabi'ul Awwal. But there is only a scholar, his name, Az-Zubayr ibn Bakkar. Zubayr ibn Bakkar, he said he was born in Ramadan. According to some calculation that he did, and he's saying that he was born in Ramadan. But the master, after analyzing the history, that the accurate month, it was Rabi'ul Awwal. Now the date of Rabi'ul is not Monday. We're talking about 2 or 3 Rabi'ul Awwal or 4 Rabi'ul Awwal. We know it's Monday. And you know now it's Monday, we know it is Rabi'ul Awwal, we know it is Am al-Fil, 531 AC, AC someone? AD. So we knew that. So now about the date. So some of them, they said he was born in the 2nd of Rabi'ul Awwal, 2nd of Rabi'ul Awwal, and this is the Ibn Abdul Barr. And some they said As-Thamin min Rabi'ul Awwal, 8th of Rabi'ul Awwal, Ibn Hazm. And others, they said he was born on the 10th of Rabi'ul Awwal. This is called Sha'bi, and Ja'far, Muhammad al-Baqir. And the last one, it is he was born on the 12th of Rabi'ul Awwal. نص عليه ابن إسحاق. This is Ibn Ishaq, and فيه رواية من أبي شيبة عن ابن عباس وجابر وهو المشهور عند الجمهور. And this is most known according to the Jumhur. And some of them they said he was born on the 17th, but this is very weak opinion. So, but after analyzing all this, it might be, honestly, it might be the most accurate one is the 8th of Rabi' al-Awwal, not the 12th. No, not the 12th. Because that is what is Imam Malik narrated, وعقيل ويونس بن يزيد وهم من هم, because Malik very close, and he was born, and he was in Medina. Imam Malik, he was in Medina, and Imam Malik, he said 8. So people mostly now celebrate or talk about his birth on the 12th, which is the more accurate, is the 8th of Rabi' al-Awwal. And that is also being narrated on the Zuhri. He is one of the top muhaddis. Zuhri, عن محمد بن جبير بن مطعم. And this قول رجحه جمع أهل العلم المحققون منهم بن حزم الحافظ محمد بن موسى الخوارزمي والحافظ بن يحيى في كتابه التنوير في مولد البشير وهو أول كتاب صنف في استحلال المولد. This is book that was the first book was narrated talking about his birth, the Prophet ﷺ. Now we were going to talk about what's happened when he was born. What's happened? So there were some miracles happened, and there were some exaggerating miracles that was narrated. One of the miracles that the books say, some books which is not correct, saying, oh, when his mother was delivering him, Adam came down to her and talked to her. Then and giving her good tidings and good news about the birth of the Prophet. So Adam, second night, so she saw Nuh alayhi salam, he came down. And the third night, Ibrahim came down. And blah blah blah. And they mentioned most of the prophets that they came down to Amina, and they were telling her that the prophet will be born from you. And that is not accurate. And the second that is not accurate as well, they always narrated, they're saying stars came close to Earth. The stars came very close to Earth. The people start seeing the stars very close to the Earth because he born in that night. And others they narrated that they were لوح من ذهب كتبت عليه الأشعار يوم ولادته عند رأس أمه. And some of them they said a golden board. A golden board was behind them, his mother had, and all the nice poem was written on that golden board behind her head, her mother head, and that's not true. And also the narration that أمه لم تشعر بولادته. She did not feel that she's carrying a baby. She did not feel the pain. She did not feel that she's carrying a baby. That is not true as well. That the birth was normal. There's some pain, and it was normal delivery. وإنه ولد مختونا, and he was born with circumcision. That he is circumcision, and that was born like that. And other than that, he was born doing prostration, sujood, ولد وهو ساجد, and that's not true. So many incidents that the people, because they love the Prophet ﷺ and they really want the excitement and to be that excited, so they bring many news which is not accurate. We have to dig into this, and we're going to talk about what is right. According to the people of the book, what is the sign? With the people of the book, what is the accurate one, and we take it. The not accurate one, we should not take it, inshallah, and we should not look at it. So we'll continue doing that, inshallah, next meeting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ala mahkam wa jazakumullahu khairan wa barakallahu.
So some of the stuff we didn't go through, we will bring it back to next. So some of the stuff is the babyhood, the chest opening, his mother and her death, living with his grandfather in the house of Abu Talib, and then some other stuff if we do have time. For the time
we talked about this verse.
Yeah, I was talking about the babyhood.
babyhood.
The babyhood, yeah. So for the time being, we do have about a few minutes.
And we'll talk about his name as well. So we'll talk about
Yeah.
his babyhood. We're going to talk about Muhammad, who called him Muhammad, and why he was called Muhammad. Anyone else used to be called Muhammad at that time? Because some of the historians, they said this is the first name that he was used in that era. So while others, they said no. Many Muhammads call themselves Muhammad because of the narration of the people of the book. They're saying that the blessing. وإذ قال عيسى ابن مريم يا بني إسرائيل إني رسول الله إليكم مصدقا لما بين يدي من التوراة ومبشرا برسول يأتي من بعد اسمه أحمد. So from Ahmad and Hamid, Ahmad and Hamd and Muhammad, so they started calling their kids Muhammad. So we will see that many people in the time of the Prophet ﷺ called themselves Muhammad for the barakah, for the blessings, because the people of the book used to mention the name. So we're going to talk a little bit more about his name. Is Abdul Muttalib called him Muhammad, or someone else called him Muhammad? Inshallah, we'll come and discuss this, inshallah, further.
So for the time being, do we have any questions for the Sheikh? Any questions? Anything you have?
I just found out about the Qulais church. لم يعد مبنى كنيسة القليس موجودا كلها في الوقت الراهن، بقي منه أثر صغير يعد إضافة حضارية إلى فن العمارة اليمنية، ولكن لا يزال يغض النظر عن جماليته لأسباب دينية، فتحول إلى مكب للنفايات.
هذا خطأ.
Can you translate?
Can you translate?
The church of Qulais is not found anymore at the present time, but there is a small trace which is an addition to the architectural traditions in Yemen. And people just ignore it for religious reasons and has changed into garbage disposal place.
This is wrong. We shouldn't do this. But anyway, alhamdulillah.
I have a question. So some of the narrations...
Maybe this is a punishment from Allah. Lord Abraham. What have done in Europe.
Some of the narrations, they said that when the mother of Rasulullah ﷺ was having him, there was a light. They're saying, is that considered to be a true relation?
This is true.
This is true.
This is
okay.
But this is not, she saw in her dream light. We will come to this hadith.
Oh, okay.
Because the Prophet ﷺ narrated this hadith.
Okay.
He said, أول ما ولدت بي أمي رأت نورا. We will talk
about it. Okay.
That's a different question there.
Yeah.
So Allah will protect the Kaaba there, right?
Absolutely.
And how about Masjid al-Aqsa? Allah will protect that Masjid al-Aqsa.
Yani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that He is going to protect the Aqsa Masjid, but this protection needs some means. It cannot come only that Allah is going to send Tayr al-Abil. He's not going to send birds with stones to Masjid al-Aqsa, because the miracles is gone. So no miracles anymore, as in miracle in terms of sending physical miracle. So this has to be with us. Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith that Masjid al-Aqsa, inshallah, will come back to us, and there will be big fight. As they fought the Christian in Najran, and they killed them in Al-Ukhdud, we're going to have big fight with the Jews. Those who were criminal, they will be punished. But for sure, Muslims will deal with them with fairness. You're not going to deal with them as the Crusaders did with the Muslims. We're going to deal with them with fairness because our religion taught us to be fair with people. But many people who were criminals, they will be caught and they will be killed. And trees even will talk about them. Now this is the last day of the Day of Judgment. That when the Day of Judgment will become close, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring some karamat. He said this is karamat, this is not miracles. This is, he said, karamat. Karamat is different than miracle. The karamat will let the tree talking to some good people, like believers. Talk to them, they'll tell them, this is a Zionist behind me. He were a criminal, he did all this bad stuff to kill the kids and the innocent people. So come and take care about this man, fix him. So, and this is the sign of the Ajal. But again, this is left to us and to our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this land has to be, as I mentioned in the khutbah, this is the land of Sulaiman, this is the land of Dawood, this is the land of Yahya, the land of Zakaria, the land of Isa, the land of Maryam, the land of Al-Imran, the land of Ibrahim, so the land of Sulaiman, the land of Dawood, the land that the Prophet ﷺ go to. So we have obligation, religious obligation, this land to be kept as a tradition of the prophets, and not to change it. As the big change will be when they call Sulaiman, their false Sulaiman, he is the person who starts worshiping idols. We cannot build a temple for someone who is worshiping idols. We will build the masjid to do what Sulaiman has to do, to worship Allah, not to worship idols. So we are going to build the masjid. They want to build a temple. We want to build the masjid. They want to build the club. So it cannot be accepted. So you cannot accept the Sulaiman's image to be destroyed and demolished before us. So we have the right to bring the rights of the prophets. It's in our hands. We have to defend that, because mistakenly they're deciding on that, and they want to say they were not going to build Solomon temple. That's not true. This is Solomon Masjid. This is Ibrahim Masjid. This is Zakaria Masjid. This is Maryam Masjid. You know Maryam, she was asked to serve one Imran. She said, I want a baby, I want a son to serve the masjid. The masjid lost. But she got the baby. She got the baby girl. She got Maryam. And this is a masjid that has to be served and has to be protected.
And it was destroyed many times before within the past, and it was rebuilt over and over
yes,
again, right?
And especially in Nuh time, in Tufan,
Yeah.
when the flood came, that was destroyed completely, and Kaaba was destroyed completely. Ibrahim rebuilt it, and Sulaiman rebuilt it.
You mentioned that his uncle, Prophet Muhammad's uncle, Abu Talib, did not believe in him. Actually, he believed, deep inside, he believed of the message, but his pride prevented
Yeah.
him from showing it.
He didn't
He did
show it outwardly.
There is hadith stating that in أهون عذاب يوم القيامة رجل وضعت جمرة من نار.
because of that pride, maybe.
Yeah,
And because he was
Yeah, because of his
no.
pride.
Yeah.
Because of pride.
معناها يعني لو أسلم ولو في البرايد، بس لو أسلم داخليا لا يعذب،
Yeah.
لأنه إن الله لا